This podcast is intended for an adult audience over the age of 18. It contains explicit language and sexual situations. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed belong to us and are not representative of any employer, organization, or other individual. We are not experts. This podcast is not intended to be taken as professional advice.
Welcome.
Our safe word is pineapples.
I'm Dan.
I'm Sue.
Come with us as we navigate the lifestyle,
discover kinks,
and share what we've learned along the way. We're back.
We are back.
Back for episode 8. Down to starting to get juicy. We're having more fun now. All the horrible trauma stuff is gone, so we are now having some more fun. And we're going to talk about stuff that is going on in our lives right now and what we've done.
Right, what we just did this past weekend.
We did this past weekend. We had an event which was coordinated by one of our friends on Fat Life. We had a gangbang for you.
We did. We had a gangbang.
It was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
It was not our first gangbang.
No, it is our third now.
Third? Yes. Mm-hmm. Third. So the first one was me. I did all the work. Everything. All the work. And I'm not going to say it wasn't successful because you did have multiple guys. Hence,
right.
A gangbang is successful if you have multiple guys.
Right. It was just the smallest possible.
It was the barest minimum definition of a gangbang. We literally had just 2 extra guys to make it a gangbang from a regular just a threesome. That's all it was. Well, I had at that time we had no idea how to get anything going, and I had no idea how to get anything going. It was kind of a surprise for you. I wanted to surprise you with a gangbang.
Yes, you wanted to surprise me with a gangbang, but at the same time, I was very nervous about having a large group of unknown men.
That's why I went for only guys we knew. And
yes, and that does make it more difficult.
It makes it more difficult. Well, my reason behind it was that if we knew the guys and we had all played with the guys before, and most of them we had played with in various levels of group play, I assumed they would all be comfortable.
Which is incorrect.
Which is not correct. That is not correct.
Not correct
One
at all.
of the downfalls of a gangbang is no matter how many times the guys who are invited are all, I can totally do this, I'm super comfortable, it's gonna be awesome, when they really start thinking about it, they're not.
Right, they get excited by the idea.
They're excited by the idea and the fantasy of it, but then when the reality starts to hit in, they're like, oh god, I'm gonna be naked around other guys, and it's just weird, super macho masculine, I can't have another guy's penis near me. That's crazy.
I don't think that's all of it, though. I think it's an increased level of performance anxiety, too.
There's that, too, because they don't want to look weak in front of the other guys.
Yeah.
They don't want to be the one guy at the gangbang that can't get it up. Because that's...
Right, and that's not anxiety-inducing at all.
Oh, God, no. Oh, that's totally normal. That's exactly what I wanted, the situation I want to be in. Just surrounded by other guys, and you can't perform whatsoever. But, so that one, it was very small, but it was actually okay.
Yeah,
Wasn't bad.
It was my first time being airtight.
It was, and... For those who don't know what airtight is, airtight means you had one cock in your pussy, one in your ass, and one in your mouth. Mm-hmm. And you seem to enjoy that a lot now.
I do, yes.
It's fun. It's fun watching, just so you know. It's amazing. You are... I can't even describe the feelings. It's so arousing to me to see you with other people. Something just comes over me. It's almost like pure arousal on my part. I'm just very excited and very happy to be seeing that. So that was really fun for me to watch and to film and whatnot. And I kind of joined in a little bit as well at that one. Mm-hmm. Our second gangbang, I went with... there was a guy on Fat Life who was going to help me. And he was going to be... Supposedly he was going to be the one putting it on. And we were going to see if we can get some more guys. Let's see if we can get more than the 4. Was it last time?
4 including you.
4 including me. Let's see if we can get more than 4 including me. And he was all like, totally, all set to go. And then this also comes into the charging. Like, this is where, because the first one we didn't really charge anyone. I mean, we asked them to help us pay for the room.
Yeah.
That's about it.
We were just, because again, they were all people we've played with in the past. We were just looking to cover the cost of the room. That's
all we were looking for. But this one, the guy was actually looking to make some money off this one. So he was trying to charge exorbitant fees, but I talked him down. He wanted like something like $100 per person or something like that to come in. And I was like, no, that's not gonna. No one's gonna come for $100 per person. Like, you are fantastic, and to me, you're worth. And I'm sure to like every guy that you fucked, you are worth at least $100. But
it's very flattering.
I know, but I flatter you because I love you. But to people who don't know you, they're just not gonna be like, "Oh, sure, $100."
I can't blame somebody for that. I'm weirded out by the guys that are like, "Sure, I'm gonna travel across multiple states to possibly fuck you for an hour."
For this
because
one
they don't know what they're getting. Yeah. Why would you agree to that?
For the second one, that's what I really, because I started doing the vetting as well. I was really working on vetting more people because we were talking about getting new people and that we had not met before. So we had our vetting process, stuff like I was looking for cock size because I have my fantasy of what a gangbang is, and while you're all for like 6 inches plus, you don't mind lots of big cocks.
I don't. We don't need to go crazy though.
Well, yeah, we don't need to go crazy, but
I need to be able to walk later.
Not too much. I can carry you. I've been working out. I can carry you around, but.
Yes, you can.
So I was looking for cock size. We were looking for STI requirements, age. We have our age preferences, which it's still so bizarre to me that guys. Now, I mean, we have it happen with couples too, but it's really mainly with single guys. Is we put our age preference. My age preference is 30 to at the time it was like 52 or 53, however much 10 years older than you was at the time.
So it was like 52 or 53. Yeah.
And yeah, I'd still get like 70-year-old guys like, I'm ready for the gangbang. Like, no, you're not. Mm-mm. It's not going to happen, dude. No. And I'd still get like 18-year-olds and stuff like, no, I am not. Mm-mm. I'm not inviting you at all to this party. But then I also started getting, this is the first time I really started getting the, like you said, cross states. People from like California were like, I'm totally down for this gangbang. I'm like, dude, you are not. You are not flying in from California. We're like, it only lasted, in the end, it only lasted like 3 hours tops. I was like, you're not going to fly like 5 to 6 hours. So 12-hour flight, both ways for something that's going to last maybe 3 hours for someone you've never met before. Like, it's a huge expense.
It is a huge expense. It's crazy. That's a crazy idea.
It's just, as far as I'm concerned with those guys, it's just a fantasy. Mm-hmm. But like, they're doing some kind of weird like role play. Like, I'm role playing with them. Like, ooh, yeah, we're totally gonna get this. You're gonna gangbang my wife. It's gonna be hot, but
nothing's gonna come of it.
Nothing's ever gonna come of it. So they were wasting my time. At the same time, this is when I started. Because there was a couple of groups that talked to me when I was getting this going, which there are groups that still want to work with us. They still want to, set up a gangbang with us. But they started talking to me, and they were talking about, so you want to make sure you have however many you want. So if you want 10 guys, you have to have at least 20 guys confirmed, because only half are going to show up. And that ended up being completely true. When I was vetting, I vetted. God, I stopped counting at 45 guys, and then at some point I was like, I'm just gonna cut it off. I can't be vetting anyone else at this point. I think we have more than enough guys. We're done. And on the day, I technically had 15 confirmed guys that were going to show up. In the end, it ended up being 8. There were 8 guys that showed up, and they didn't all show up at one time, which is weird because I was like, I set a time, and part of me, part of me honestly was like, rude. That's just rude. Gangbang starts at 3. It's 4:30. What's going on? Rude. But we ended up having like 4 guys that came, and there was 4 guys that came after. So 4 guys came, and then they kind of left, and then 4 other guys came. There was one guy there that was outside of our age range, and he was 25.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I was vetting him, I was like, this guy seems legit. He's not talking to me like the younger guys talk to me. He's talking to me like a normal adult person. And part of me was like, you know what? Fuck it. If he shows up, he shows up. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He can be part of that half that doesn't show up. And he did show up. He showed up, and he was...
He stayed the whole time.
Yeah, he was the only one. He was the only one.
Right from beginning to end.
He was fantastic. Like, he had a lot of fun, and we ended up playing with him afterwards.
Yes.
We got his number and everything like that, and he was asking me advice because he had done this before, but he was still kind of new to it. So he was asking me advice on like shaving, don't shave, like all this kinds of stuff. And I was like, dude, just don't bother. You know, it's fine. But at that gangbang, one of the guys that showed up for it actually hosts parties. In fact, he hosts some of the parties that we go to, that we now go to. And he offered, at the time, he actually offered, he's like, you want to set something up? I got a place. You can set it up. You don't have to worry about paying for it and all this stuff. And I was like, we'll see how this goes. You know, because I was still like, I'm not sure how many Sue actually wants to do. I was kind of thinking this might end up being like a one-time thing, you know. But, I mean, you're now kind of down for maybe one a year. If
Maybe one a year.
Maybe.
I think
Keywords maybe.
Yes, but I think one a year is plenty.
Well, at the same time, it's a lot of work. Like,
it is a lot of work.
So he helped us. We not blew him off, but like we just didn't accept that offer for the longest time. Schedules came into play, life came into play, you know, all kinds of stuff. And we ended up going to a couple of his parties, and then he talked to me again at one of the last parties, and he said, look, I'm still down if you guys want to do this. And I was like, yeah? I was like, do you think you can get like 15 guys there? And he's like, sure, solely, 100%, I can do that. And he's like, don't worry, you know what? I'll do all the work too. And I was like, no shit. I don't have to do anything. He's like, you don't have to do anything. I will get the guys. I have the place. I will vet everyone for you. He's like, I'm going to charge, but he's like, you leave that all up to me, you know, because it's my place. So I'm doing all this stuff. And he's like, you don't even have to pay anything at all. You're not paying anything. And honestly, one of the weirdest things to me, and one of the things that I enjoyed the most about his offer was when he said that we could park in the driveway. We're like, woo, we can park in the driveway? We don't have to park on the street? Awesome. Sold.
Off-street parking.
He's got off-street parking. This is the guy we're going with. But it was fantastic. He did everything. He did everything for us. And even if excuse me, if guys contacted me, I just had to send them to him.
Yeah.
That's all I had to do. Like, you got to talk to him. He's the one that's setting it up. Here's his name. Go find him. Talk to him. He's setting it up. He's vetting. He's doing all that stuff. I'm not doing anything. Yeah, and I did also reject some guys because, again, we have an age limit. I'm sorry. I'm not going to put like a 60-something-year-old guy. I'm not putting 18-year-old guys into this pool of guys. No. Because, no. It's just not going to happen. I mean, you have, not only you, me too, but like you, specifically because you're the one that's getting fucked, but you have no desire to be with someone who is the same age or close to the same age as our kids.
Younger in some instances.
Younger in some instances.
Yeah, and I have no desire to be with anyone of the age of my parents or older.
Or my parents. My parents are older than their parents.
Yeah, your parents are older than my parents.
We've had some that have
and
gone
I
down
know
to the
we have,
older.
and it's
It's
you know.
unnerving. It's a little unnerving.
Yeah, and like, so I understand that, our age range is considered narrow by some people, but it's my age range.
It's actually not. A lot more people have been having a very similar age range to what we have. There's very few people now that I see that have that whole like 18 to 99. Like anyone, we're good for anyone.
Yeah.
I don't see it, and you know what? It comes out. I think we've talked about this before on the podcast. It comes out more like people that are our age that have older kids that are like starting to get into their like 20s and stuff like that, where they're like, I don't want to fuck someone who could be my kid's friend. Like that seems weird.
It is weird, and they look like kids. They look like kids.
They do.
They look like kids.
Yeah. So he did everything, and we went there. Rushed from work. We had to work that day.
We did have to work that day. Yeah.
And then
it was something to look forward to.
Well, yeah. You definitely had a goal for the day. I have to get done in so much time because I'm going to get fucked by a lot of guys. Woo! It's going to be exciting. And then we rush, we shower, and we're running late. Which I'm sitting there. I turned to you at one point. I was like, we're going to be late for our own gangbang.
We weren't, though.
We actually weren't. We got there on time, and I tell you, we walked into this place, and there was one guy there, and I was like, oh, God. I hope he's not the only one that shows up, because this is going to be a lame gangbang. If only one guy showed up. But then the guys started trickling in slowly, and we actually had at least one guy that we knew.
Yes.
I'm gonna say fairly well. Like we don't know well. We've met him at a couple other parties, and we've talked to him.
A number of times.
You've fucked him a couple of times, so he's not an unfamiliar person,
right?
And he's a super cool guy. So when he came in, I could feel like your anxiety kind of go down some.
Yes.
He has that kind of air about him when he starts talking. He can bring down anxiety. Showing us his homemade sex toys was definitely a highlight. And I enjoyed that. That was actually quite fun.
It was, yes.
But so as they're trickling in, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, when do we start? Are we supposed to wait for everyone to show up?
Well, I kind of figured we were waiting for at least a
good chunk of them.
A good chunk of them.
75% of them to show up. At the same time, the guy putting on, he didn't actually tell me how many guys he had. Like, he gave me kind of an idea of how many he had, but he never told me exactly how many he did have. So I didn't know the full amount. I knew kind of how much was going to come in there, but I didn't know the actual final count of what was going to come in.
I still don't know what the final count was.
It ended up being, I think it was like 13 total, but there was some guys that were there for the voyeur aspect of it, and you ended up fucking 10 guys that night. So there was 10 that you had sex with, but like 3 of them were like voyeur type things, or there for just him like hanging out as friends type thing. So there was that, which 10 was the most that you've had.
Yes,
so far.
It is, and it was a good time.
It was a good time. I gotta tell you, so far, every one of the gangbangs that we've had, except for actually the first one, and that's only because it was the one guy that was kind of the off one was not. That was other issues that
he may have misrepresented.
Yeah, he misrepresented himself. Which we are no longer friends with him anyway because of those reasons.
Yes.
Misrepresenting yourself. But from then on, every one of the gangbangs we've had, I have to say, the guys so far have been super polite, super accommodating. They, we always start off with, don't forget Sue has a cum allergy, so you can't come inside of her. you can come on her, but we have to make sure we clean it off. And, there's no, she doesn't want to be humiliated or degraded. Don't be calling her a bitch and a slut and a whore or something like that.
It's not my thing.
Be slapping her around or anything like that. I mean, spanking is one thing.
Spanking is fine.
But no face slapping,
slaps.
no. But like stuff like that. Like they've all been, we tell them these rules and they all go, okay, we're good. And you know what I think it is? I honestly think it is because I do tell most of them, if I talk to them, I say, so just so you know, I mean, if we like you, there's always a possibility of like a one-on-one type. Well, not one-on-one, but like, just them with us, like a threesome, some point in the future, possibly. So I think that actually plays into this. Like, they're like, if I do a good job here, it's kind of like an audition for, later on. Or even like, because there are guys, some of them are guys that go to the parties that we go to all the time, they kind of maybe have it like, okay, so I do good here during the gangbang, so that means that like Sue will at the party go, hey, yeah, sure, I'll fuck you again. Why not?
Why not?
I had a fun time with you last time.
It was all good.
I'll have a good time with you again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how it went. It only ended up being like 2 hours, really, because it didn't really start till about 10:30. And we ended around 12:30 because you were falling asleep.
Yes. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about any time we get together for group sex, whether it's a threesome, whether it's with friends that we have, whether it's a couple swapping or something, is if, in my opinion, it's a good night if we can get you to the point where you are, we'll call you cock drunk. Where you're just ready to pass out. You're like, I have come so many times tonight.
So many times.
That I am just ready to curl up right now and go to bed. And I got to go, all right, so we have to get in the car and go home.
So many times. My body was so relaxed by the end of it.
You were. I had to help you get like your clothes on at the end of it. I'm like lifting you up to help you get your pants on so we can go home for the night. And that's what I love. I love that. I want to consistently give that to you. Mm-hmm. Because I get off on that. Even though I didn't really play. Like, there was a couple times you blew me during the gangbang.
Yeah,
but I really wasn't in there to play. I was doing a lot of filming and stuff like that. But at the same time, the way I also think about these events is I can fuck you anytime. So
you can. Like,
there's these guys that cannot, so I'm sharing them with you, so let them have, their fun with you, because I can have my fun with you like any day of the week because we live together and, we're married and all that fun stuff.
Right? Perks of
being married to Sue is I get to fuck her all the time. It's a good perk.
It's a good perk.
It's one of my favorite perks.
Definitely one of my favorite perks as well.
Nice. You get to fuck Sue too?
Well, I mean, technically I could if that was something I was...
You do have Casper.
I do have Casper, and I mean, occasionally, so like maybe, good Lord, I don't even think it's once every other month. So like once
the blue moon, you get
quarterly?
Really horny. Yeah. So quarterly, like, on the every 3 months or so. Sue needs to get it out of her system. You've read too much of your porn.
Yeah.
Your porn novels.
Yeah, and you're not handy. Because, I mean, if you're home...
No, don't say not handy. That sounds like I'm not able to use my hands with you.
Yeah, you're not at hand. If you're not home...
I'm usually at work or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I'm at work.
Generally, I'm home alone in these situations. Because if you're home with me...
Yeah, I'll
just ride your face and...
Oh, no. The sacrifice I have to make for you.
And we're all good.
We're all good. Fun times. So that was what happened in the past, and now on the 11th, coming up, we're gonna go to Choice in Rhode Island because we are members of Choice Social Club, And so if anyone sees us there, they can come over and say hi, because we are there.
We will be there.
We will be there on the 11th. It's a halfway to Halloween party, so we are going in costume, sexy costumes.
That's right.
I'm going to be a sexy wolf. I have a hood, and it's fantastic. I have wolf ears and little sexy shorts and a collar. I got a collar that says good boy on it, so you can have me on a leash, because our concept for our costumes, our couples costumes, is the sexy little Red Riding Hood who has tamed the wolf,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and now uses him for her sexual pleasures and whatever the hell she wants.
That's right.
Massages, back scratches, I don't know, whatever wolves do. But Choice is fantastic. I love Choice. We've been there a couple of times. I'm so happy to be a member of that place. It's a very well organized and well run place.
Mm-hmm. It is. It really is.
It's very clean. The staff knows what they're doing. I feel comfortable and safe there. I feel like it's definitely a place I feel that if something were to go wrong, the staff would handle it without any issues. You're out. You know, if someone's messing up or someone's causing a scene or something like that, they would remove them. So I enjoy Choice. We've only been to 2 clubs.
Yes.
The only other club we've been to right now, aside from Choice, would be we went to Montreal for New Year's, and we went to La Rage.
Also a very nice club.
Also a very nice club with its sex maze upstairs. I call it a sex maze because it's the layout. I got lost like the first time walking through it. It's dark, but you're going to go to some of these clubs and they're going to be dark. They're dark for a reason.
It is, but it's not so dark that like you're going to walk into something.
No, it's dark. It's dark for the mood and ambience. No one wants the fucking fluorescent lights. Like,
it doesn't bother me, but I understand. I'm not.
You still don't want to like look up and it's so bright in the room. You're like, you have to close your eyes and squint just to see what's going on. I mean, let's face it. No one wants to see these clubs with all the lights on either. Like, no one wants. You get that sexiness from it being kind of moody and dark with like mood lighting and stuff like that. But La Rage was fun. We were there over New Year's.
Yeah, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, yeah. So we rang in New Year's, this past New Year's, in the middle of an orgy, which was fantastic.
Yes. Yes, it was.
2023 was going as we were coming into 2024. Multiple times. But yeah, that is... I enjoy the clubs because I'm into... I didn't realize it before, but I'm into exhibitionism. I enjoy having sex in front of other people, and you definitely enjoy having sex in front of other people.
Yes.
I think... Is that part of the turn on for you? Like when you're having the sex, like, because you've had the gangbangs, you've had... we've gone to parties and stuff like that. So is part of the enjoyment for you the actual other people are around or could be watching or something like that?
Yeah, that is, I do enjoy that. But I don't do things to get people to watch me.
Oh, yeah, you're not doing it. So the
like,
fun thing about
it's like an added bonus. It's like, oh, hey,
someone might be watching.
Somebody might be watching.
Yeah.
It's like that extra cherry on top, but they don't
have
to be.
It's
like I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's like our content
work to make them watch.
It's like our content that I put up like on Reddit and stuff like that, and people ask me all the time if they want to. I want to make content with you, and I go, I don't film to make content. Just like you're not fucking for the attention. You're not sitting there going, I want the attention, so I'm going to have sex with these people so other people will watch me.
Right.
That's the same thing with my the content I put up. I'm not doing it to make content. I'm doing it because I enjoy filming you having sex, and I enjoy sharing it with people. That's all. It's not for like we don't have any monetized anything or anything like that.
No.
But yeah, so I would like to try possibly more of the BDSM section at Choice on the 11th because I do enjoy spanking you a lot. It's fun.
Yeah, and they have. Is it 2 St. Andrew's crosses?
Yes, they have 2.
Yeah, they have 2. They have at least 1 spanking bench.
Yes. So St. Andrew's Cross is
It's the X.
It's an X that you can tie someone up to, so they are tied into an X position, and you can flog them there.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have you with a spanking bench once, and that was a lot of fun.
We did do that, and that was a lot of fun.
Haven't been in like the themed rooms yet, really, but that's okay.
No, like we watched some friends in the schoolroom.
We did, but we're not really much for the role play.
No,
so
we're not.
But there is at least there's one room that has the one, was it 2-way mirror, which is fun.
We played in that room.
We did play in that room. And that's where inside the room it's a mirror, but outside people can watch you. Mm-hmm. So you don't know if there's people out there, but
you don't know.
Yeah, quote. you quote don't know that people are out there, but you know people are out there. You can hear them. They're there. You know people are gonna be watching this stuff. For Larage, so when we get into a club for the first time, we're a little awkward.
We are, yes. So, and especially me. So I would say you're probably a normal level of awkward.
Yes.
In like not knowing who people are and like figuring out how to like start introducing yourself to people. And I am.
You're just kind of there.
An extra level of awkward. But the more times we go to Choice, the more comfortable I am in that like Choice is a comfortable space for me, which then starts to make it
less
awkward ish.
Well, we also printed out business cards.
We did.
So we now have
it was a suggestion from a couple that we met at Choice.
It was. And now we have business cards that have all of our sexual socials on there. Mm-hmm. So we can hand them out, but this is who we are. So if you're on FetLife, if you're on SLS, or Reddit, this is where you can find us. You can find who we are and what we look. Unfortunately, they can't check it out in Choice because, like any good club, no phones are allowed inside.
There's no phones.
And that's for everyone's protection and safety, because you don't want someone secretly filming you or something like that while you're in there.
No, nobody wants that.
Yeah. So Choice is going to be fun, and I'm very excited to have that, because we're also going with some friends, too. So we're going to go with a couple other couples, and we're going with some friends. It's going to be a hell of a night. We're going to have a blast.
Yes, we are.
Probably, hopefully, coming multiple times. Because that's the goal.
That's the goal.
It's always the goal. And what else we have coming up? Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend, we are going to be having a private house party with some friends.
We are. Now, private house parties are different from regular house parties. Because a regular house party that's where you pay a fee and you go to this party and you have, random people that are not necessarily all friends with each other and you're having that kind of stuff. Private house party is, we have a core group of friends that we play with. There's between 3 and 4 couples that we do play with on a regular basis. And we were just invited to a private house party, and it's going to be in Vermont. We rented an Airbnb for 3 days. I think it's 3 days. Yes, 3 days and 2 nights.
Yeah. We all chipped in to cover the cost.
All chipped in, and we're just going to have... the best part about having friends in the lifestyle is we can do this. We're going to have... It's going to be we're going to have sex. But at the same time, we're not. And it's still not... It's not going to be like a bad time. We're doing stuff like going grocery shopping. And hanging out in town, like looking for maybe souvenirs, and then coming back to the house and going, well, let's all fuck. Why not? We are also having for the 3 ladies that are going to be there, we are having naked oil wrestling, which I am looking forward to. I am 100% looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to the after, because I have promised the 3 ladies that I will sacrifice and help them all clean up in the shower.
We're going to be very oily.
You will be oily, and
Very
someone's
slippery.
going to have to help you shower. And
We could fall.
Just because one of my kinks is naked, wet women with soap and stuff like that, it just so happens to line up that way. Can I be blamed for that? I don't think I can be blamed for that. Oh, we are also having a photographer come.
Yeah.
And he's going to take some sexy pictures for us. And I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you can do with a core group of friends. And I do see more of younger couples that are getting into this, that they don't want to just continue fucking more and different people all the time, so they're not like constantly going to like even the house parties we go to. We start going to them and we see that these are people that play with each other outside all the time, and they're all just kind of getting together at these house parties.
The same thing. Well, the same thing at Choice. So, like, when we go to Choice, there are like groups. There are friend groups at Choice.
Yep, there's French. I saw that in La Rage too. Unfortunately, I don't speak French, so I could.
But they were definitely friend. Like, I mean, we all recognize.
Yeah.
The socialization groups.
But I gotta say, for anyone that's coming into this, it's definitely it wasn't necessarily a goal for us at first to find like a core group of friends. It kind of was and wasn't.
So, like, initially, as we were finding our feet, I don't think it was something we had on, like, our radar.
We hadn't really thought about it.
Yeah, we hadn't really thought about it because we were still really just, fumbling our way along. But as we've
grown.
As we've grown, but it's definitely more appealing to have a core group that, like...
Well, for one thing, it's a lot less work.
It is.
Because having a core group of people, like, so there's going to be 3 ladies there at Choice. I know how to satisfy all 3 women without having to ask them. I know what they like, what they don't like, what their boundaries are. Mm-hmm. And the same thing goes for us, like all the ladies. Our boundaries for the men. You know what we want. We know what we are not comfortable with. So we can just kind of naturally flow into having fun, whether it's sexual or non-sexual in some way. We can just kind of naturally flow into that, and it's a really nice feeling to have that.
It is, yes.
I mean, I enjoy... God, we went axe throwing with our friends.
Yes.
We've traveled the country with some of our friends, even outside the country. I mean,
Gone to the movies.
We're going to Hungary, like we said before. We're going to Hungary, Budapest, and Bucharest next year with friends. So it's going to be a fun time, and it's fun not just sexually. We're going to have sex though.
We are going to have sex, yes.
We are going to have sex. But we're going to do other stuff too, like, go to Dracula's castle. And the Kitsch Museum.
Both are equally exciting.
They are. Kitsch museums and sex. My God, it's like a perfect vacation. We are weird people. But that's okay. We can be weird. Everyone's weird during the way.
We are nerds.
There's nothing wrong with being a nerd.
No, there's not.
And then after that, we really don't have anything planned, like sexually coming up. I mean, we have some other things we're going to do with people, but they're not necessarily sex things. We're going to some shows. We're going to go travel to, Boston, which is far away from us, where there's dragons. In Massachusetts, here there be dragons.
That's right. We're in the Here There Be Dragons.
We are?
Yeah.
Oh, I forget that all the time. That's right. Because other people, when you talk about Massachusetts, they're like, you Boston? No. We're not in Boston.
We're not in Boston.
But yeah, so from now on, well, we have been talking because our lives have been getting pretty hectic lately with everything we have going on. We've been talking about transitioning from a weekly show to a bi-weekly show because I know it doesn't seem like it, but it takes time and effort and to put these shows together and get them recorded and get them edited and get them uploaded and
Something's always coming up.
something's always coming up, whether one of us is sick or we're working or it's just too damn tired to do it. Because
We'll get better. We'll get better.
We are getting better, but for our fantastic and wonderful, lovely listeners, I don't want to be sitting here talking and yawning the whole time or falling asleep or anything like that. So we are going to be working towards having bi-weekly shows. And honestly, anytime anyone wants to send us a suggestion or something they want us to talk about, this episode actually came about because of what people were saying they wanted to hear from us. They wanted to hear about some of our exploits and what we've been doing. Because, again, it came from some of the posts I do on Reddit, because I did post some videos of the gangbang that happened. So they were interested. They wanted to know, I want to know more about this. I want to know how this came about or how you felt during that. So, yeah, if you contact me, you can contact me. I'm the one that talks primarily on all of our socials for starters, but I will 100% relay to Sue, and we'll maybe talk about something you want to hear us talk about, and we can go from there. But that's pretty much all we have for this episode. So next episode, we'll figure out what we're going to do for next episode soon. It'll be fun because we're going to have more fun as we continue on going through there. And we are talking about for next season, when we figure out how many episodes we're going to have for a season, maybe seeing if we can upgrade our sound system here and bring in some friends, because we have some friends that want to join us on our podcast, and that'll be fun too, to have conversations with them, because everyone has their own separate experiences based on the type of relationship they have. We have some friends that are essentially a cuckold couple. We have another set of friends who are more voyeurs. And then we have another group of friends, and they're really into BDSM, and that stuff is fascinating. All of that is fascinating to me, and I'd love to have us introduce our fantastic listeners to those people as well.
Yes.
But that's all we have for this episode. Hopefully, again, you all come back next time, and we will continue making as much of these podcasts as we can to entertain you and ourselves, because this entertains me as well, because I love making you laugh and talking to you. But that's it for now. We'll see you guys later.